Hi everyone. Hi, it is Sunday night, September 21st, 2025. My name is Yolanda Nixon and I am going live for my second week of 12 weeks of Stampmas. I am going to wait a few seconds to see if people will join me. I see a couple of people have joined. Thank you so much. So I'm going to give this a couple more seconds. But thank you for joining me. This is Sunday, my 12 weeks of Stampmas. And what is Stampmas? Is stamping plus Christmas. So for the next 12, or now for the next 11 weeks, I will be going live on Sundays at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I'm going to create 2 Christmas cards or projects for this season. And I'm going to be using products from our Stampin' Up! Catalog, either our annual, our mini holiday catalog, and also some online exclusives. So hopefully you saw the video from last week. If not, you can go back and it's pinned on my Facebook page. Per Facebook rules now, lives will be available for 30 days, but I've also have included the YouTube link for watching the video after 30 days. So feel free to go to my YouTube channel and look up the video to see the cards that I created last week. Also for the individuals that watched last week, I thank you so much. Thank you for commenting. If you comment on this live, you will be entered to win the 2 projects that I create tonight. I will post on the Facebook post who the winner is. So for last week, Robin Barnes, yay! You are the winner of the 2 cards that I created last week. One was the Shaker Dome cards. Let me show them to you right quick. So this is one of the cards I created last week, and it's a shaker tree. You can see the little stars in there. And then the other card that we created was this card, and this is the Pine Tree Trimmings Bundle. That's an online exclusive. So Robin, congratulations. I will be mailing this out to you. Well, actually, if I see you on Saturday, I'll just bring this with me on Saturday so I can give those to you. So congratulations. Again, if you comment on this post, you will be entered to win the 2 cards that I make tonight. So let me get started first, a little bit of business. Thank you for joining me. My name is Yolanda Nixon. I live in North Dallas in Texas, and I've been a demonstrator for a little bit over 12 years. Well, actually in November will be 13 years. So getting close to 13 years. And I've been teaching how to do cards and scrapbook pages and all sorts of things with paper crafts. I hold monthly craft meetings here in Grand Prairie, Texas. And I also host retreats, and I do have a retreat coming up. I also co-host a crafting cruise. Our next one will be in October of next year, but let me not get ahead of myself. Let me go through the information that I have here. So I do have a little bit of business. So the first thing is that Stampin' Up! Is coming out with a it is a crafting advent calendar that will be available on Tuesday, September 23rd to everyone, and it's while supplies last. The advent calendar, the cost is $99, but it does have $125 worth of merchandise in the advent calendar. My link to my newsletter is posted in my Facebook page, a couple of posts below this one, so you can go to my newsletter and read all about it. But the best way to get the advent calendar is if you sign up as a demonstrator, because as a demonstrator you can purchase $125 worth of any Stampin' Up! Products and only pay $99. You also get free shipping on that. All you have to do is pay tax, which in North Dallas is about $8, so you pay $107 for $125 worth, and you can get the advent calendar plus an additional $26, all for $99. It's a great way to get the advent calendar at a great price, and there is no obligation to sell like I do, but you can get your discount for your own crafty needs. So that is something that's coming up on Tuesday, the 23rd, and it's available for everyone at the same time, and it's while supplies last. So make sure that you look out for that advent calendar. And if you want to get one for yourself, you can find one, buy one for yourself. And also it's a great Christmas gift to give to someone also. The second thing is Stampin' Up! Is coming up with virtual crafting classes that will be available October 1st. And what this is that you purchase, it's free to join. You just have to register, and there will be crafting classes that you can watch. And if you would like to craft along, there are a couple of products that you can buy. And again, in my newsletter, there's a whole bunch of information on what the products will be for the first crafting class. And that is by Stampin' Up! So what I have going on this weekend, and it is on Saturday, are my monthly crafting classes, September 27th, and it is a little bit too late to join now. The registration has closed, but my next one will be in October, and it's usually the 4th Saturday of the month. So just keep a lookout here on my Facebook page for the next registration. So I would love to have you at my crafting classes. The next thing I have coming up is a fall retreat. So on October 16th through the 19th, I will be hosting a crafting retreat. It's 4 days, and it is in Red Oak, Texas. It's about 30 minutes south of Dallas on I-35. Come and join us. There is a fee for the retreat. Come and join us and craft with us. I will have some projects for you to make. The food will be provided, of course. Room and board will be provided. It's all included in the craft retreat. There is a couple of posts down from this one on my Facebook page that has all the information. But if you need or want more information, please send me a direct message here on Facebook, or on my email, which is picrafters with an S at the end at yahoo.com, and I will be more than happy to send you some information about my craft retreat. The next thing I have coming up, well, Stampin' Up! Has coming up, is World Card Making Day, which is a free event. You just have to register again for this event. And again, there are some products that if you want to craft along, you can purchase, but it's free. So if again, some information on my Facebook page, you can register for that, and it's a great time. You can see everything that we have going on. The other thing is that we have a new mini catalog. It's the holiday catalog. A lot of great products in here. We're going to be using one of the suites from the holiday catalog in this live, and I will show you all of the products that come with the suite. But if you don't have one, please reach out to me, and I will be more than happy to get one in the mail to you, or if I see you in person, I will be more than happy to hand one to you. We also have an annual catalog that is from May to April next year. So if you don't have one of those, also get in touch with me, and I can have that for you also. So that is, there's one more class that I want to show you, but I need my camera to be pointed down. So I'm going to go ahead and turn over my camera. For a few seconds, you're going to see my ceiling. So hang on with me while I get this situated. And there's my lovely ceiling fan. Ooh, something happened. Okay, here is our mini catalog that is available now. Like I said, if you don't have this one, let me know, and I will be more than happy to get it to you. But let me show you the other class that I have. So we had a scrapbooking set, Halloween Memories, that is no longer available. We sold out, so it's not available, but I have 5 classes available. And with this Halloween Memory scrapbooking kit, you are going to make 6 pages. And let me show you the pages that you make. 6 pages of Halloween retreat. Halloween crafting. So here are the first page, and all of the materials are provided in the package that you receive with the scrapbooking kit. So here's the first page. See if I can. And here's the matching second page. And all the instructions for these pages are in the scrapbook kit, in the scrapbooking kit. The instructions do come with it. They tell you exactly the measurements to cut everything off. You do have some perforated pages where you just punch out some of these eeks and beware. Some of these things you do have to cut down from the paper. Here's the 5th page, trick or treat. Some of these you just like punch them out. And then here is the last page. And this is really cute, the Halloween. And of course, this is where you would put your photos. And those are the 6 pages that you would make with this Halloween scrapbooking kit. However, there's so much more extra that you have after you do your scrapbooking kits. So for a limited time, I'm offering a special class that you will receive the scrapbooking kit plus instructions on how to make a sampler. So this is a home decor sampler. However, if you don't want to use one of these spots for home decor, you can put a photo here instead and make it like a scrapbook kit. So I will provide all the instructions and the extra cardstock that you would need to make the sampler. Plus, you will make, and this is a sneak peek of the cards, you will make these extra 5 cards. And I will provide, like I said, the scrapbook, the cardstock, and the instructions on how to make these 5 extra cards for one low price. So if you're interested in the scrapbooking kit, there is a post again underneath this one, a couple down, and it will give you all the information on this Halloween scrapbooking kit. And that's, like I said, that scrapbooking kit is no longer available on our online store, but I do have 5 available. So if you would like to purchase that, please let me know. Okay, so let's get started with our projects. We are going to be using the Peace on Earth suite. So a suite is a combination of stamps, dies, or a punch, some designer series paper, some embellishments, a ribbon. Sometimes it includes a embossing folder. Here we have some glitter paper. So you can buy all of these items for one low price, which is $90.50, but you still get the 10% on discount on the bundle. So if you buy the stamp set and the dies together, you pay 10% less than if you would buy them separately. But when you buy the suite, you still get that 10% discount. So let me show you the products. So this is this Peace on Earth stamp set, and it is photopolymer. So basically it's a see-through stamp. So it's easy to use. Then you will have the dies. You have 2 doves, some stars, some vines, some cutouts for your words. Here's the embossing folder, and it's the same size as this big one right here. So this big die will cover the inside of this embossing folder, and we're going to be using that today. And then we also have the ribbon. So this is our blue. It's Misty Moonlight ribbon, and it's got some edges of silver, and that is part of the suite. And then we have the designer paper. So we have the glitter paper, and you get 3 colors of the glitter paper, and we're going to be using some glitter paper on our cards today. So you have the silver, and I forget what color that is, and then the blue. And if you're unsure of the colors, on the back of our designer paper, you'll have a list of the colors. So this is blue, dark gray, and soft green. So we're going to be using those. And then our designer paper, you get, this is a 12 by 12 pack. And of course, I've been using it. And again, if you are unsure of the colors in the designer paper, just look on the back. It's basic beige, cloud cover, crumb cake, misty moonlight, pecan pie, and secret sea. Secret Sea is one of our new in colors. Let me pull this out. So they're double-sided. You have some patterns here and some vines, and then you get 2 sheets of each. Some more patterns. You get some doves. You got some vines here, a pattern, another pattern, and some vines, a pattern, and then you have these. And of course, the one that I've used the most is going to be this one here with doves also facing each other and some pattern on the back. So that is the entire suite. Again, you don't have to buy them together, but it does saves you a little bit of time because there's only one code, as opposed to buying everything individually. You have to know all the codes, all the product codes for each individual item. Okay, so we are going to be using Misty Moonlight ink and Secret Sea ink on these cards. So I'm gonna put these aside. All right, so let's get started. So I'm gonna start off first with some basic white cardstock. And our basic white cardstock is a full-size cardstock, is 8.5 by 11. So this is cut in half at 5.5. So it's 8.5 by 5.5. And we're just gonna fold it. And one piece of cardstock does make 2 card bases. And I'm gonna get my bone folder real quick. And the folder, of course, we use it to crease our card. And then we are going to get our glimmer paper. And this, I believe, is a soft green, and Misty Moonlight, and a piece of white cardstock. So I'm going to show you how to make all these. So we are going to emboss our Misty Moonlight cardstock, and we're going to do a lot of die cutting out of this glimmer paper. I like to do some die cutting from the inside of the glimmer paper because we're only going to be able to see the edges. So if you don't want to waste extra paper, just do the cutouts from inside of here, and I'll show you how. So I'm going to get my dies. So we're going to be using this the big die, and one of these for the inside of the card. We're also going to be using this one, but I'm going to set that one aside, and we're going to be using this one and this white dove. And the die cutting is going to seem a little bit much, but it's a really easy card, or fun to make cards. So I'm going to bring in my die cutting machine, and it's going to be extra large here. So this is our die cutting machine, and the panels open up on the sides. We're going to place our pads here, our glimmer paper in the middle. So when I want to cut something out of the same paper that I'm going to be using as a layer, I just move it over, not close to the edge, and put this one here. And then that way no one is going to see the hole that this creates, because it's going to be covered up. And this will save you a little bit of paper, or glimmer paper, so you don't have to cut out some more. And then when you die cut it out, your glimmer paper just comes out easily. And your vine, just be a little bit careful because this is a little bit tiny leaves, but it just comes right out, just like this. And we're going to cover this so you won't see those holes at all. Okay, now we're going to do our embossing. So we're going to use our embossing folder. And I'm going to switch off the plates. So I'm not going to use these. The one I'm going to use is our plate. And all our plates are labeled. So this is plate number 1. I'm going to use 1 and 4 for embossing. And all of these come with the die cutting machine when you buy it. So you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so there's a line. All the embossing folders have a line. So I'm going to place this paper, the cardstock, right up against that line, and close it and make sure that it is centered in the middle. And you can tell when, if you look at it from the embossing folder, if there's more vines on the top than is at the bottom. You can move it just a little bit up. I'm just going to move it just a tiny hair up. Okay, that looks good to me. I'm gonna place that on platform number 1, place platform number 4 on top, and then just push it through. And here is embossed cardstock. You can feel that there's ridges. I'm going to set that one aside. Set these 2 aside. Now we're going to go back to die cutting. So again, platform number 1, platform number 2, and we're going to use the bottom of platform number 3. We're going to put our cardstock in the middle. And this is just a scrap piece of paper for you to do your die cutting for your dove and the other die. Ooh, that dove is stuck to the table. Okay, so then we're going to put this dove here, and we're going to die cut them out at the same time. Oh, one more piece. So I have extra. This is the blue glimmer paper, and I'm gonna cut 2. Okay. These little dies are hard to come. They're hard to get. So I'm gonna cut 2 of these little vines from the blue. So I'm gonna die cut them all at the same time, because there's enough space on this platform to die cut them. And then just making sure that none of that moves a little bit over. And we're going to go through. So we have our dove die cut. And set that aside. I am going to need 2 of the blue, so I'm going to run this through again, because I need 2 of these, and I just have 1. Take it out from the back just like that. And the nice thing about our die cutting machines is you can run it back and forth without doing anything else. So if you have a lot of, just go back and forth, and it's nice and easy. And there's our second one. Okay, so that is all the die cutting that we have for this card. Move that to the side. Okay, now we can start assembling. And I'm gonna use our tumble glue. So our embossed piece is gonna go right on top of the glimmer paper like this. So I'm gonna add glue on the edges. I don't wanna add anything in the middle because of this hole. I'm gonna get it on my table. However, once I place it on top of the card base, then I can put glue in the middle. But for right now, this is the back. And I didn't check if I had enough glue, but I hope I do. Okay. Where's my glue holder? And this is gonna leave, less than a 1/8 inch around. And the good thing about the glue is that it lets you move it around before you're ready to set it. Once you are, just press. Okay, and now we can add glue on all of this, because we're going to add this to our card base. And here's our card base. And this also will leave about a 1/8 inch around. Again, with the glue, you're able to move it until you are ready to set it. And you'll see that little bit of shimmer on the edges here. Now, if you wanted to, you can cut this a little bit lower, or trim like 1/8 of an inch off so you can see more of the shimmer. Okay, now we are going to stamp before we do anything else, and we're going to get the Misty Moonlight ink. We're going to take our Peace on Earth stamp and tap, tap, tap on, and we're going to position it right here to the right of the die cut. Okay, let me close that up. Oh, before we move on, I will also do the inside, and we're going to be using the Peace, Love, and Joy, and we're going to use the same 2 stamps on both these cards. Okay, set that aside. Okay, so now we're going to grab our shimmer die that we cut out. We're going to glue the white on top like this. And I like to use glue when I use shimmer paper. It just, for me, it holds it better than adhesive. And like I said, it helps me position it where I want it before I set it. Okay, now we're going to grab our dove. Our dove is going to go right here in between the P and the E. But before we do that, we're going to adhere the 2 blue vines and also the silver vine. If I can find the silver one. There it is. Before we add this on to our die cut, we're actually going to adhere this to the dove first, because we're going to add dimensionals on the back. So the dove is going to be on the vine like this. So let's just put some glue here. And it's like that. Now we're going to add the blue vines, same way, just kind of right here on top, and then one right here on the bottom like this. So as long as we have a little bit of glue here and a little bit of glue there. Now we're also going to be adding dimensionals, so all of this will be supported by dimensionals also. So we just want to see the blue. And then grab this one. And we want to make sure that we see the blue behind the other vines. So that looks good. Now I'm going to grab my dimensionals. And last week I showed you the black dimensionals. So with the black dimensionals, you get the big dimensionals and you get the mini dimensionals all in one packet. But we also have the white dimensionals, the big ones and the small ones, but these are in separate packages. Last week we were making cards that were a little bit darker with the cardstock, but now that we're using white, I want to make sure that I use the white dimensionals on this one. So it's a good thing to have both of them available when you're making projects, so you know that you're using and the correct dimensional. But the reason is when you're looking at the card and you look in between, you really don't want to see a dark item right there. So if you use the white ones, it just blends in with that white dove. So I think we're gonna add one more right here. Take this off. I'm gonna add the dove right here. And then we're also gonna use dimensionals on the back of this. And I do like to use a lot of dimensionals. And one more right in the middle, just in case. And also not just in case, but also if you don't have dimensionals to support your piece that you're adding, you might get a sunken in area. So if you have enough dimensionals to level it out, that would be better. Then we're just going to position that. Oh, let me show you. So on the embossing, you can see that you have this piece right here. So this is where this goes, right in the middle. So we're just going to set it right there, and we're not going to cover any of the vines. And then once you're happy with it, just press it down, hit your dimensionals. And that is our first card. Just like this. It's a lot of die cutting, but it's quick and easy really when you get a handle on it. But that is our first card. So now we're going to do our second card. We are going to be using our cloud cover cardstock. I'm going to fold that in half. Also, this is half of the 8.5 by 11 sheet, so it's 5.5 by 11. Fold it in half. I just had my, there it goes. I lose my products all the time. So we're gonna place this over here. We're not gonna use those dies anymore. We will be using these little ones. No, we're not gonna be using these little ones. We will be using this larger die. Get rid of these. So now this is going to be the dark glimmer paper, the dark gray, and we're going to be using some of our designer paper. So these are 3 strips. They measure 4 by 1 inch, and our front card, or the front of our card, is going to be basic white, and this is 5 by 3 1/4, like this. And then we're going to use a strip of white for our sentiment. This is measures at 3 1/4 by 1/2. And this is going to be for our doves, and this is going to be for the inside of our card. Just to check the card out. So we're going to do some stamping on the inside of the card first. So again, we're going to use the Peace on Earth, but this time we're going to be using the Secret Sea ink. And since we have our ink out, we're going to use our, oh, no. Did I just misplace my little strip? Oh, there it is. So we're going to use our Peace, Love, and Joy on our strip, and I may have to stand up for this one. And we're going to place this to the side. Okay, those are done. No more ink. Okay, so now we're going to get started with die cutting. And actually I did misspeak because we are going to be using this little die. Okay, so I'm going to grab my stamping tool here because this die is, I cannot pick it up. So we're going to cut a vine, one vine, two of these little vines, and then we're going to use these 3 stars. And we're going to have to run this one over again because I need 2 of these. So let me get my die cutting machine out. Place that on the second platform, platform number 3, in the middle. Take these off. You can see the vine. Just take it out carefully. Then we have, and you can see the back, you have the 3 stars. And the 1 vine. We're going to roll this back through again because we do need that second vine. And at the same, and I'm going to, even though I can roll it over, I'm going to switch it so you guys can see. I'm going to put the second vine here because again, we're going to cover all of this. And I'm going to place it like this. But at the same time, while we're doing that, we're also going to die cut our doves. So I need a small dove and the big dove. So these platforms have a lot of room, so you can do multiple die cutting at the same time. Take these off. We're going to take this vine out. And then the 2 doves. Okay, now we can assemble. So on this piece, which is the 5 by 3 3/4, we're going to add the 3 strips of designer paper. So I'm going to add the strip first that is in the middle, and then we're going to add the other 2. So I'm using my seal, my Stampin' Seal adhesive. And I'm going to use my ruler down here to see if I can get this in the middle. And I'm going to leave about, I would say, 1/4 of an inch from the top. And it doesn't have to be precisely the in the middle. Like, it could be a little bit off. And then I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to do the same thing with the 2 on the side. So they're going to be offset in height. They're not going to be together, but you do want to have these two on the edges at the same height. So we're going to put this one here. And this is our card front, so we can add some glue to this. And I may have run out of glue. No, we're good. Okay, and again, you don't want to add glue to the middle, because once you add it to your glimmer paper, you may get glue in the inside of your card, which then will transfer to your table. And on this piece, you do have a little bit more of the glimmer showing than on the last card. Okay. And then we're going to add some glue to the back of our glimmer paper. I am running out of glue. Ooh. Always check your glue before you start your projects. Yay, I have more glue. Well, all right. Okay, put that on my list for ordering is more glue, more Tombow glue. Okay, so now we're going to add this to our card front, the cloud cover. Oh. So the one with the middle at the highest point is going to go on at the top. So I just had that a little bit backwards. Once you get, press it down. Now with this one, you don't have to use glue on this one. It's just cardstock on cardstock, so you can use some stamp and seal, but we're going to go ahead and add it to the inside of our card. All right. And then we're going to grab the two vines, since we're already working on the inside. The two vines. Just carefully place some glue, just tiny, tiny drops. And if you do get a lot of glue, just smear it with the tip of your Tombow glue. You don't need to press more. And you're going to add the two in the bottom right hand corner for decoration. Let's add some more glue. And just press. And leave that open just a little bit so you can get it to dry. Okay, so now we're going to grab our two doves and our long vine. So the vine is going to be glued to the two doves. On the card, it's going to go like this. But the doves are going to be on dimensionals, so the vine's going to be on dimensionals. Like this in the middle. So we're going to glue one of the wings of the dove to the vine, and then we're going to glue the beak, or not the beak, but the body to the vine. And when we add dimensionals to the doves, it's going to keep the vine also raised. Okay, Hope that makes sense. But okay, so let's add a little bit of glue. Ooh, that's a lot. And we're gonna add a little bit of glue to the body. And it's just sometimes when you have a lot of glue on one piece but not the other, just take some of that glue off with the other piece. So we're gonna add this right here to the body of that dove. And then we're gonna add this to the wing. And then before we move forward, we're gonna add dimensionals. Just to support that, and of course we're gonna add dimensionals everywhere else on the dove. Over here. Actually on these, I'm gonna use the smaller dimensionals. Dimensional there. And the bottom, and I'm going to add one more to the top of that wing. Okay, now we take all of the backings off. And then we're going to grab the front of our card and we're going to position the dove here and there. And because of the doves, the vine is going to be lifted. Okay, so now we're going to get our sentiment. We're going to add dimensionals on the back of this. Small dimensionals. I'm going to add 4. And we're going to place it right underneath here. And then we're going to we're just going to add some glue there, there, and here, because we have 3 stars. I'm going to set them down. And I did have 3 stars. Oh, there it is. Gotta keep up with the stars. Okay, so once you place them, then you can press. And then the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add some of the hues of blue flowers that come with the suite. And on these flowers, you get 4 colors of the flowers with 2 sizes. You have the big ones and then you have the small ones. Let me just double check something right quick. Yep, it's the flowers. All right, just making sure. So we're gonna add a flower. Kind of want to add it on the love. And just one little flower. Okay, so this is our second card. You press it all down. Inside you have the peace on earth. And then we have the glimmer card also, peace on earth with the dove. Inside, peace, love, and joy. So these are the 2 cards for this week number 2 of Stampmas. We're using the Peace on Earth bundle that is from the mini catalog that is available September through January 3rd, I believe. It's on the back of the catalog. January 5th. So it's available September 3rd through January 5th. So it's available now. If by any chance it goes on back order, they will be bringing it back until the catalog ends. So make sure you grab your copy, your bundle. Also, the suite, it comes with the designer paper, the glimmer paper, the ribbon, the flowers, the dies, and the stamps, and the embossing folder. So all one price, or you can buy them individually, or just buy whichever product you like the best. But again, the bundle is 10% off when you buy the stamp set and the dies together. That's a great savings. And if you see more of the products that you would like, if you see more products that you would like to buy, it may be an advantage to you to buy the demonstrator kit, which is, again, you choose $125 worth of any Stampin' Up! Merchandise of your choice, and you only pay $99 plus tax, no shipping. And of course, you do get some other things in your demonstrator kit. You possibly may also get a free paper pumpkin. So that is also like a $24 value that you will get for free. So a lot of perks of being a demonstrator. You get a discount on your own products. There is no pressure to sell anything ever. And you will be part of my team. But, you know, this is just an option. If not, you can just purchase these products. But also, if you would like the instructions to how to make these cards for yourself, you can be part of my VIP group. So make sure that you click the link in the description of this video so you can join my VIP group. And I will be uploading the instructions by Wednesday for these cards. And of course, if we run out of the designer paper, you can substitute with other paper, because the format of the cards can be used at any time with other Stampin' Up! Products. Thank you so much for joining me. It is 8:54 and I try to keep these under an hour, so we are right on time. But if you have any questions, or would like to join my VIP group, or any questions about my retreats or my classes, please feel free to send me a message and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Have a great night.